Next speaker here is Dr. M. Satyanarayana, Executive Director, Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board.
Good evening to all. I'm representing Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board. It is a corporate entity with autonomous as an through Act 1989 assent given by the President of India. My basic objective of presenting here is we are in promotion stage of our the infrastructure projects, what we have the gap. So the brief overview of wastewater management and the infrastructure gap, what we have, I'll present it in brief. Okay, please, next, please. Yeah, this is the location map, next. Yeah, this Hyderabad city is basically expanded from the middle core city, and the central is the peripheral circles, and extended areas are ORR village. Up to Outer Ring Road is the service area of this organization. Next, please. The brief background of the wastewater development is here. The Musi River, it flows in the midst of the city from western direction to the east, and the entire topology of Hyderabad city is draining towards the Musi, both southern and northern side. And the natural flow takes place from any part of the city, from discharge of the wastewater to the treatment plant to the Musi River. Way back from 1920 onwards, Sir Mokshagundu Visvesvaraya Garu has designed this sewerage system. It's working, and we have located old sewage treatment plant at Ambapet. Since then, we have upgraded in phases, and as on date, almost 23 at locations we have sewage treatment plants, and to the tune of 772 MLD. Next, please. These are the various types of sewage treatment plants what we have. Its capacity ranging from 339 MLD to the highest capacity at one location to 0.5 MLD the other location. The various technologies what we have. There's an USB technology, a flow anaerobic sludge blanket, and another is SBR technology and MBBR and extended aeration, various types of technologies we have on this 23 locations. Next, please. Yeah, these major STPs on the banks of the river Musi on north and southern side, where it is located, just for as a glimpse I have indicated here. These are the existing STPs. One single STP capacity is about 339 ML, is a huge one capacity. Next, please. Yeah, this city, this Musi River, it receives the flows from various drains, southern and northern side. About 16 nalas are there. These are major drains. So most of the sewage sometimes slippage into the nalas, and at mouth entry points, we have an interception and diversion structures and divert into the conveying mains and ultimately taken to the STPs where it's being treated and disposed to the river disposable standards. Next, please. Yeah, next. Yeah, it's a sewer network profile. If we see the pipe sizes and the pipe material of this thing, sewer collection network pipe size varies from 100 mm to 300 mm. Mostly they are called as a lateral sewers. It's a collection network. And the branch sewers, 300 mm to 600 mm sizes, and trunk sewers, which are the conveying mains, called as the outfall sewers to the treatment plants, which is 600 to 2000 mm dia. And pipe material is up to, lateral network is a stoneware glazed pipe, SWG, and RCC material with sulfate resistant high alumina cement for higher this thing, and manholes, even the depths are weighing up to 8-meter depth. Next, please. Again, brief O&M practices, exactly this wastewater management, because the very seminar concept is water and wastewater management. Here the O&M practices, what we have in the sewer network is mostly, earlier it was the manual cleaning is there, now almost adopted 100% to the mechanical sewer cleaning through suction and jetting mission. We have 100 operation units, wherein about 120 missions of major and medium and mini ATIC missions also we have deployed into this thing. And basically, this on the road, there is a sort of a preventive maintenance, like, to avoid all the overflows on the roads for the removal of the chokages, this thing. Next, please. Yeah, these are the missions what we've been using in the field for sewer maintenance. These are the major missions. These are the mini jetting missions. Yeah, this is the so far the sewer maintenance practices, one part. The other one is the STPs we have. Both WTPs and STPs, normally we outsource the entire function like in a PPP mode. the Veolia company is a French company, is looking after all the water treatment plants. We have about 6 water treatment plants of 602 MGD capacity. And the sewage treatment plants, also all the 750 MLD at 23 locations in a single agency, is a Romkey company. It's a totally outsourced all this thing. So yesterday also I was here all the time. Our CEO and other gentlemen repeatedly they were mentioning to that the best brains are here. We have to make use of them for either of any of the solutions. So unfortunately, what exactly we are seeing that whether Veolia company, which is called as a French company, or the Romkey company, is a national level or international level reputed the environmental company, even they take over standing as an L1 to look after the entire O&M practices. So they're not really bringing a specialized minds and specialized experts from outside to act as a catalyst to change this thing. So whatever earlier we have employed, whether it is a small operators, either the treatment plant of water or the sewerage, the same are being continued, and not much change we have not been noticing it. So anywhere, here, because from Chicago, almost 25 contingent of engineers have come here at the various group of fields. They can have a little tie-up with these local companies. Of course, the straight away, we cannot, you cannot participate as a tender in the practice and to get to show improvement in this thing. So how modalities we can work out for the O&M practices we can see is one part. The second, please. From here, the infrastructure gap, exactly the metro cities, whether either the Metro Water Board, the Delhi Board, or Mumbai, or any metropolitan cities, we have a huge infrastructure gap. Basically, almost, I can say on the treatment side, yesterday some of the gentlemen was making a presentation from the Government of India's records that only 40% sewage is being treated and the rest is untreated sewage is being flown here and there. So to show that infrastructure gap, the little status of Hyderabad city in the core area, what is the status I've indicated here, is almost 98% is here because from 1930 onwards, in different levels we have developed here. Next, please. There is a peripheral circles, in the all in the developing countries, the moment the urban areas, the peri-urban areas, the moment they grown up little, this thing, they'll be merged into the main core area, thereby, the service levels will again, it come down, the same water and the same sewage, either the personal or the quantities is get distributed. So here the peripherals, we have only 50% sewer network, and practically we don't have proper trunk sewers and other things the population is served here. Okay, next please. This is recently another 900 square kilometers of peri-urban areas. The small Gram Panchayat and municipalities have been merged to us, and the entire outer ring road has been declared as our service area. Is practically here there's no sewer system. So we have a mixed this thing, very senior experienced engineers, who had 30 years of experience in the same wastewater management, right from design, planning, estimation, execution, and O&M. They are there in the core city, and again they have to take up even the new areas with from scratch. Next, please. So that is the status. What are the developments exactly is required, the infrastructure required for, again, both the core city and peripheral we have indicated. For this, we have the best consultants who have engaged. For the core city, AAC Watson was the basic. First, they have prepared the master plan to us, and partly we have implemented, and still further strengthenings are required to the tune of almost 1240 crores is the DPRs we have in the 4 zones. And the treatment plants, about 610 MLD STPs we have already identified, which costs about 1,200 crores. So 2,240 crores worth of infrastructure projects we need to ground only for the core city. That's what we have identified. Next, please. So these are the various locations of the core city where STPs have to be built. So near the existing STPs, another modules we have suggested, and then again lake-centric and river-centric type, and the decentralized STP is something we have proposed. Next, please. Yeah, these are the various locations for the core city only, the STPs. This is again the RV consultants with an American consultant, is a Western company. Both together they have prepared, and we have presented this DPRs to the different agencies for different funding agencies. Next, please. Yeah, this is another. Next, please. This is somewhere wherever it is not feasible to get entire the sewage through trunk sewer mains to the STP location. Here practice in India is that near the Nala, one interception diversion structure need to be built, and to the extent of the dry weather flow, it can be diverted through this arrangement to the conveying main and conveying main to the STP. Next, please. Similarly, the peripheral circles, adjoining areas, again, 12 consultants who have hired, and they have prepared in wonderful DPRs for each ULB. This is so-called ULBs. This 12 ULBs, we have this thing about 3067 crores worth of infrastructure projects. Here, particularly all the sewer main projects we have with us. Next, please. Yeah, after that, again, this 900 square kilometers area has been merged. Then what to do? The government has instructed that, now you prepare and engage another consultant and make out a bigger sewerage master plan for the entire Hyderabad city. Now we are on the job. This major short technical consultants have become. Many international consultants also participated. About 7.86 crores is the consultancy job we have awarded to them, and now there are this. Next, please. Yeah, as for any sewerage master plans, fundamentally, again, where they take the base year and the prospect year and ultimate year to arrive the sewage estimation. So from that, where STP sizes and pipe sizes they have to work out. They have taken 2036 as a prospect year and 2051 as the ultimate year. Around 26.2 million population they are projecting by end of 2051, which is an ultimate year. Again, the sewage as an 2018 base year is about 1810 MLD is the sewage estimated. For 2036 is about 2860. So normally any project will be grounded for 15 years of prospective year. For 2036 MLD, 2860 MLD, deducting the existing about 772 MLD we have, 2,300 MLD worth of quantity STPs we are proposing in different locations. It's a huge assignment we have. Next, please. Yeah, this is entire, this one, we're divided into entire this thing into watersheds, 60 watersheds. Next, please. Yeah, this catchment basin wise, we have some flow goes to the two perennial rivers we have in Telangana state. One is Godavari and Krishna. This city itself, some flows go towards the Godavari river, one catchment basin, and that is Krishna basin. So based on that drainage districts catchments, we have divided entire area into 8 basins. Next, please. So further subdivided into the sewerage zones, that is 9 zones, and here about total 48 sewerage zones were divided. Within this area, we'll find about 180 water bodies are there. One big river is flowing in the midst of the river, and in the center, we have one big Hussain Sagar lake of 1.5 TMC capacity, is a bigger one. And then the small lakes, we have 180. These 48 zones, we are proposing about 48 STPs. The chain of water bodies, we have merged into one STP, and the proposals are in the final stages. Next, please. Again, basin-wise STPs in Godavari basin, the first basin, how much quantity of STPs we have to build for 2036 and the corresponding cost we have indicated, the consultant. Next, please. This always the priority when it comes, in the midst of the city, when the river is flowing, it says with all raw sewage, very unhygienic look when any visitors they come. So the government have indicated to us, you prioritize firstly for the Musi River, so that as a rejuvenation of the Musi River, the first how much quantity of STP is located and the priority cost that we have worked out and we're throwing. Next, please. This is again next priority is the Hussain Sagar Lake, the center one. Now, like this, so far at the existing treatment plants, we have prepared the entire layouts for the upcoming STPs. Next, please. Yeah, a couple of layouts I have shown it. Yeah, next. Yeah, next. The very purpose of my coming here is that for the last so many months, we've been approaching the various funding agencies, including ADB, JICA, BRICS, and our own the Government of India firms, NRCD, and etc., etc. So here are the projects. Is that STP is about 48 numbers, the capacity 2,300 MLD. We have to build it, and its cost is around 6,000 crores. And the trunk sewers is similar. The huge work is about 4,000 crores, and the sewer network at 10,000 crores. And yes, it's a fact that we're approaching the agencies. Sometimes fortunate or unfortunate, both the government of India, other state governments are not able to provide the debt sustainability clearance, a sort of a counter guarantee to the external aided funding agencies. Therefore, now seriously we are looking at the PPP mode projects. So how best we can invite the investors that under the deferred payment modes, whether we call it hybrid annuity mode or some annuity mode, this thing. So that for that, the either government of India level or any side, such sort of a sovereignty guarantee doesn't not required. Though straight away, as is an independent corporate entity, we can straight away conclude the agreements with them, and we can show the state government budget that over the 10 years deferred payment or the 15 years that mode. Now we are working out. We have engaged one Canadian consultant, Lee Associates. They are preparing certain documents to us, the bid documents, to attract this PPP. It's a fact that you all witness that the airport side and even the national highways, everywhere, the PPP projects are being quite successful. But unfortunately, this, particularly the wastewater side, there's not much encouragement. How best you can circulate the requirements and appeal from our side that any US companies, if they're really on PPP mode, particularly, in the other loans, there the guarantees are required. In India, HUDCO is another big bank. They can give. They borrow the loan from ADB and they give at some 11% interest. But they also insist on some sort of a guarantee. So for each government, they have certain ceiling limits from the Reserve Bank of India side. Beyond that, we're not supposed to borrow the loans. So some sort of a ceiling is there. Therefore, having the extreme better brains and better knowledge levels, if you're able to really join with any investors, and your presence with investment will absolutely this thing. So one last appeal here. This is called the high-tech city zone where we are here. Nearby, one good lake is there, is a Durgam Cheru lake. Now, for its own upgradation, it's 5 MLD capacity as a lake hydrology balancing under Netherlands funds. We have built that one. Now we want to upgrade that 5 MLD to the 12 MLD. So under PPP mode, we are now calling the tenders. We have engaged one financial transactional advisor. So per liter basis, we indicate per liter basis. So anyone, if they come, our principal secretary, Mr. Arvind Kumar, yesterday was supposed to come here, he couldn't. So they were all quite keen. He also visited, why don't you explore and get one agency, This is very, very centrally located, is a one. The other area is in a Kokapet, where we have a Microsoft company and Wipro and Infosys, and American consulate is coming as a big way, and we have given about 15 acres of the land, and now the active construction is going on, and ICIC company and various the almost international institutions are there. So there, entire the sewage, if some sort of a model if we're able to build, so hardly the investment may not be more than 40 crores in Indian currency. So with this 40 crores, how can we approach the individual, the users, that, if you share this amount, so we may give a sort of an all freedom, and you can approach them and this thing. So some sort of an idea I'm giving it. There's two locations. One is at Durgam Cheru, the existing STP upgradation of any of the, we are looking for basically the investors. So, and to our request, today also one representative from Government of India, we have made a presentation, all these projects are detailed. I have brought only the crisp of it here. So detailed presentation we have given to one NRCD, the funding agencies, and on 27th, again, ADB team is coming. They have provided a good funding to the Calcutta Municipal Corporation, almost 14,000 crores. It's over 6 to 7 years, they are making in a different way. We had been to there, and their entire understanding we made this thing. So that in those lines, if anything is there, our managing director also, Mr. Dan Kishore, he told that make a mention of our all projects, because we have to promote our own projects. That's why I'm here. Of course, the water and wastewater management effectively to the best of our efforts and knowledge, we are able to do it. This is from my end. Thank you, and thank you for the organizers.